Okay, so we're back on. We're in the laundry. Jay's talking about clean outs.
Yeah, so every plumbing drain line has to have a clean out, and we put a clean out here that for that very reason, so you can clean out the line when you need to. We've also inserted a test ball that you fill with air. It's got a little bicycle, like a
Schrader valve.
Schrader valve on the end of it. You hook up a bicycle pump to it or some kind of something, and you fill it full of air, and it allows the water to just stay in the piping above when we test. So we're not testing the existing piping. We're testing the water above here.
Wow, I didn't, is that new? Is that something new?
They've been around for, I don't know, 15 years,
Do you
maybe.
do every clean out?
We do it only in instances where we don't want to retest the slab waste again. It just takes more time to fill up the waste. We've already been tested. It's already been passed by inspection.
So when we go for our plumbing rough, which will be soon, as soon as we get these showers done, these vents will all have to get filled up.
To the roof.
To the roof, right?
Right.
And the inspector will knock on them and make sure they're all,
Right.
holding water.
Right, filled with water. So what we have here is we have a double stack on a 2-inch waistline. When you stack two things on top of each other, the larger pipe has to be on the bottom. In other words, we have two 2-inch drain lines, so it doesn't matter. But say this was going to be a laundry sink, the 2-inch waistline has to be lower. The larger pipe has to be first, and then the smaller one on top.
Makes sense to me.
Right.
So each of these pipes has a P-trap.
We have a P-trap. This goes to the laundry box for the washing machine. And then this one over here, this P-trap goes to a, we're going to put there's a fitting here that's not on yet. It'll go on trim. It's called a Mr. Drain fitting that will incorporates a 1-inch air gap between the condensate drain and the softener drain from the mechanical room, and there'll be a Mr. Drain fitting here that will allow a 1-inch air gap.
And the air gap, physically, what does it do?
It holds the pipe 1 inch above the sewer line so that in case the sewer ever came up, it couldn't get in contact with that water and somehow flow backwards into the
That's a good thing to anticipate.
Yeah, it's the same thing that you have. Same thing you have on a dishwasher.
Yeah. Air gap.
Same kind of deal. So this will get
Built in to a dishwasher, basically down below in your sink, right? But
well,
then
no,
why do
you.
they put air gaps
Well,
up on
no,
the
that's
counter?
the.
Is that still we're still doing that?
Still have to do that. It's silly. It's really silly. Anyway, there'll be a finished panel that'll go in here after drywall, so we have access to get into
That'll
there.
be a 12-inch. It's going to wind up being a 12 by 12 inspection panel in metal, because this garage contiguous to the house needs to be a rated 1-hour wall. So our
That's right.
door needs to be rated. This box is metal. It's rated 1 hour. It's usually not metal. And then we've got to get an inspection box there that's rated for 1 hour.
Right.
And this got all broke out and repiped.
Yeah.
This was funky old galvanized waste.
They make these boxes. The plastic ones we use have 2 places for drain lines.
Yeah.
So if this was in a building that wasn't in a garage with a firewall, we could have used a plastic box here,
Right.
and we would have had 2 drain lines tied in instead of having to do this.
Oh.
This we had to do because it's a firewall.
Huh.
And you can't get these metal boxes with 2 drain outlets for whatever reason.
Weird.
We've tried.
That's weird. Let's go see the kitchen.
Yeah, okay.
We're gonna go to the kitchen. So come with us to the Mango kitchen. There's Theodore working away on the hardware. This is another. We'll do finished work someday together. Going okay, Theodore? Yeah. Good. Okay. So now we are in the kitchen, where as you can see, let's just take a scan here. This there is a lot of plumbing coming out of the garage attic, and from the utility room we've got vent lines. So that laundry vent ties into the kitchen vent. So it's one vent penetration over the garage. The vents, all these. How many fixtures can you vent on a 2-inch stack?
24 fixture units.
Wow, no kidding.
Yeah.
And so is the sink a single fixture unit?
The sink is 2.
2 fixture units.
Yeah.
How about laundry?
It's changed. Laundry is 3, I believe.
Okay, so there's 5. And how about
Toilets are now 4. They used to be 3.
Right.
So they've changed.
Yeah, so
Showers
the
are
pipes
2.
rated for fixture units of what they can take,
Right.
depending upon the size of the pipe.
Yeah.
Take X amount of fixture units.
That's right. And the code changed, I think, about 10 years ago. And sometimes I still get confused because I'm so used to program to.
Well, I remember part of my 1981 contractor's license, test, the 3-hour trade test.
Right.
And some of the questions were, in a 10-story building on the 4th floor, how many fixture units can you stack on?
Right. Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Well, let me just ask my plumber.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, sure.
Which is what any general contractor.
Let me go get my book and I'll tell you for sure.
UPC, right?
Yeah, and I'll tell you for sure.
So you still refer to UPC, correct?
Oh, absolutely. I have a new code book in my truck.
Uniform Plumbing Code. It's the Bible.
Because they do change. Things do
Codes
change.
and then so the IBC. Do you guys does that affect plumbers?
No, UPC is what we use.
UPC,
Yeah.
For us, it's International Building Code now.
Right, right.
Used to be.
Yeah.
Can't remember.
Then there's local.
I'm losing words. So describe just what we're seeing here, because we're seeing a heck of a lot of plumbing.
Seeing a lot of plumbing. The drain line, the existing drain line, because as Rodney mentioned earlier, the concrete floors are staying and getting refinished, we didn't want to do any concrete busting.
Yes.
So the existing drain line for the shower was here because the sink was over here someplace,
Sink.
right?
Existing drain
I mean,
line
I'm
sink.
sorry, for the sink.
Yes.
So we have
The
tied
sink
on to
was
the, somewhere in here.
Yeah.
So we've tied onto the existing drain line for the sink, and we have ran a waste line. The issue is we can't run. You're only allowed to go 42 inches with an 1.5 inch trap arm. So this was more than 42 inches. So we had to upsize the pipe and go 2 inches to a certain point. Then we can run our trap arm within that 42 inches. But this is where we had to run the vent.
So you can run over 42. Is that what's called dirty arm?
No, well, someone calls it a dirty arm. It's not an actual term.
But you
It's
can
actually
run-
a trap
I thought
arm.
it was 48, but you can run 42, and
Three-
you have to go more than 42 if you upsize the pipe.
They'll allow you to do that, right.
For how much longer?
Well, with a 1.5 inch pipe, you can run 3 feet 6 inches.
Okay.
With a 5-inch pipe, or with a 2-inch pipe, you can go 5 feet.
Okay.
A 3-inch pipe is 8 feet, and a 4-inch pipe, I believe, is 12 feet. We don't do that very often. So, I don't know. Should I wave?
There's a hand in my screen. Anyway, so what else we got here?
So this is the vent for the sink drain that runs back 1/4 inch per foot and ties into the laundry drain and goes that way because the owners preferred to see not see the vent anywhere on the front of the house.
We want those vents, and in this case, if this had a ceiling, these vents, once they got above the ceiling into the attic space, they could
Right.
lay on the ceiling joists. I mean,
That's
they could
right.
or they could be strapped to the joist because
Right.
they're all going to get covered by ceiling.
Right.
In this case, that wall is going to be drywalled all the way up, and it'll be shown,
Right.
and the ceiling will be shown. And as you can see, all the water pipes that are hot are
Right.
insulated.
Right, now in terms of the water pipe, this is one of these, and I can't tell you which one without following it back to the water heater, but one of these is the hot water line that comes from the water heater when you turn it on.
Right?
The other one is where it tees and it recirculates back. So that was what I was telling you. We try to stay within 8 to 10 feet of the sink so that you'll get hot water in a relatively short amount of time. Basically, what you can think of that T as like, you can think of that T as that's where your water heater is.
Huh.
Your water heater is right there.
Wow, so pretty darn
It's
close.
pretty darn close to the
And that's
fixture.
and so all these big all this right there, that's
Yeah.
hot water.
These are all hot
That's
water lines.
Copper pipes behind.
Smile does such a nice job notching around all the block
Oh, I
work.
know.
I mean, it's so clean. It's just
as clean
amazing.
as,
You're
seen.
seeing about
It's
as good a-
really insulated. You know what I mean?
That's right.
You don't see any copper.
The codes change all the time. The code now is that you have to have 1-inch insulation on the pipe. So it's 1 inch,
1 inch thick.
1 inch thick all the way around.
Wow,
Just tremendous. It doesn't fit very well
Yeah,
on a
that's-
2x4 wall.
that's bigger than it used to be.
It's bigger. It used to be 1/2 inch, but it's 1 inch. You can see right here, this piece right here.
Yeah, it's
He put that piece there just to protect it from
Yeah,
the
from
cold water
electrical,
line
right?
from the
You wanna
electrical.
Heat up the electrical, get them too hot, the Romex. And he's got a pretty good size, excuse me, 220 cable going to the Tesla charger,
Yeah.
the car charger.
Over here, this is a laundry box, or I'm sorry, ice maker box that we've installed under the kitchen sink.
Yeah, and or water line to the refrigerator, because it could be for drinking water,
That's
through
right.
the RO system, or a variety of things, right?
That's right. Well, it goes from here through the wall over to the refrigerator location,
And this is what, 1/2 inch recipe hose, 3/8?
which is where? Oh, it's over there.
Yeah, and it runs
Yeah,
through
it's
this
1/2
wall,
inch.
which is sheared on this side, so you'd be able to see it on the other side. And at one point, then it pops out, comes over to here, and then goes down to here, which is where is it Sub-Zero? No, it's damn it! I swore I'm losing my mind. It's a